This year's Big Read event has drawn an author and filmmaker to Attleboro. Mary McDonaugh Murphy held a talk at the Attleboro Library last week about her experiences in making a documentary that explores some of the mysteries surrounding the author of To Kill a Mockingbird, Harper Lee. We spoke with Mrs. Murphy to find out more about the event.
I read To Kill a Mockingbird as a teenager, and it had a great effect on me, but my greatest reading, the reading that had the most impact, was my adult reading, and the novel just blew me out of my chair, and once that happened, I began to go find out everything I could about the novelist and the novel, and so I started this kind of many-year quest to find out everything I could about To Kill a Mockingbird. Well, I financed this entirely by myself, and so the reason it took me 5 years is because I had to keep making the money in order to hire people like you to come out with me and go do my interviews. So I did it in between all the other stuff I was doing, which is why it took a while. Getting Oprah was an incredible coup, and she had, as I say, Oprah had said 200 times that it was her favorite novel, so I had to call Oprah 200 times to see if she would talk to me, and she eventually did, and she was unbelievably gracious, and it was just huge for me that she agreed to be in my documentary. She said wonderful stuff. My heart belongs to Wally Lamb because he was one of my first interviews, and he was incredibly generous, and he went on to write the introduction to my book, and he also is just a really wonderful, lovely, talented person. Because Harper Lee didn't write a second novel immediately, because she stopped giving interviews, all those things kind of came together to, I think, allow a rumor like that a rumor that, Truman Capote had something to do with the writing of To Kill a Mockingbird, allowed that to spring up and then to fester. I mean, many people say Truman Capote was probably helpful in letting that rumor, he never knocked it down while he was alive. So, it's just one of those things that if you know anything about the writing of To Kill a Mockingbird, as I do, it really rankles. The suggestion that anybody else had anything to do with it really does rankle. But it was Truman Capote and Harper Lee were very close friends. They both came from a very teeny town, and they both grew up to write American classics. I mean, and that story alone is pretty extraordinary. I grew up in Providence, so being back close to home is great. At this gorgeous old library, tremendous crowd. Really happy to have my work shown here, and the questions were wonderful. I think that's one of the great things about To Kill a Mockingbird is, you can talk about Facebook and all the social networks, but millions and millions of us can come together because of To Kill a Mockingbird. It's like the greatest social network there is, so it's always good to be in a community of people who care about the novel.